Hi guys, today we push SQLite to its limits. Let's go. What we'll do. So we'll have a simple test tool to test SQLite. SQLite will run with it because it's an embedded database. It runs in process together with your process. It's not a separate thing, so that's all we need. We'll dockerize it to limit resources and see what it consumes, and we have a few scripts to run multiple test cases or scenarios, and we run a few scenarios that resemble some real world cases, and we also work on the respectful dataset of respectful size. Let's say we have more or less 1 million rows, and we'll see whether SQLite can perform in cases like that. So let's start. I'm thinking whether we should just start or maybe go through a few things, because all we have is a few scripts with test cases. We'll go through them in a while. The test is just a single Java file that uses JDBC driver for SQLite, and it runs our tests. Nothing special here, I think. So let's use README and go to these steps basically. So first, let's build our tool. Yeah, we have it, and let's run batch inserts test case. It should take more or less 1 minute. It should be similar for you because we limit the tests. They run with limited resources. As you can see in this script, we have 1 GB of memory and 2 CPUs. You can obviously override that, but your test results should be more or less similar to mine. So let's run the first case. Yeah, so it started. As you can see, we have one table with the schema. Nothing special here, I guess. Primary key of two indexes on email, unique, and on name. We don't have any records in this table before the tests were run because we are initializing the database. We have more or less 1 million records after this finishes. It should take, as I run it, more or less 1 minute and a few seconds. So let's wait. Alright, it has finished. We have some results. So as you can see, it took 1 minute 18 seconds, 12 seconds. We wanted to have 20 queries per second. We had 12. In the batch insert case, we insert 1000 records in every batch, and we try to have 20 batches per second. So with this, we had more or less 12,000 records per second inserted, which is quite nice. The worst case was 1 second something. and 99th percentile, a few hundred milliseconds, and 99.9 percentile second and something. Yeah, but that's not that common scenario that we insert so many records in batches. We had it only to initialize our database because right now we have 1 million rows, and we can work on it because without any rows our test results might not be that objective, they might not represent the real world use cases that usually are out there. So having that, let's run some test cases. Let's start with only writes test case, because as you will see, the main limitation for SQLite is are writes, because there can be only one writer at a time. So let's run the writes 100 test case, and let's see what results we have. Let's see also what rates we have here. 100 queries per second, which is already pretty nice if it can handle it, but we handle much more. Yeah, so as you can see, no problems there. Yes, so we wanted to have 1 queries per second rate. We had a little more, that because it was completed within 19 seconds. And yeah, the worst case one was 130 seconds, but 99th percentile is only 54. Yeah, so no problems there with 100 writes per second, even though there is only one writer at a time. But as you can see, the individual writes, they were quite fast. So let's increase it to test the limits to, let's go with 500, and let's increase the queries to execute to 10,000 seconds, 10,000 queries to run it for 20 seconds. And let's see what we'll have right now. Yeah, so we have finished. So let's see. Also no problems there. 90 seconds. Still max was 500 milliseconds. The 99th percentile still low, and the 99.9 also pretty low. I would say that up until 1 or 2 seconds it's probably good enough, because users, if we have writes, users usually they expect their modification to last to take a little bit longer, and 1 or 2 seconds is perfectly acceptable sometimes as well, because it's only sometimes, as you can see. 99th percentile is nothing, a few milliseconds. Alright, but we can handle it without any problems. So let's go with 1000 queries per second. Let's increase it to 20,000 queries in general. Let's run it, and let's maybe look at the resources use. So we have 2 CPUs, so 200% is available. As you can see, no problems there, because input-output operations are the limiting factor here, not the CPU. Alright, but the tests have finished. Let's see what we have here. Still we were able to do 1000 yeah, were able to do. I'm quite surprised, because in the previous test run I wasn't able to do that. So it's interesting. Yes, but the worst case is still below 1 second, so that's interesting. So we can still run it in theory. So let's maybe try to go with 100 and with 1500, because I wasn't able to do that previously, but we were, as you can see. So yes, let's see what about those writes. So we have only writes and more than 1000 queries per second. Alright, we have finished. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, so we were able to do this, but as you can see, the rate was smaller, so 1000 queries per second, but we wanted to have 1500. So that's, let's say that's probably our cap, something close to 1000 write queries per second with this max number, but still 99.9 percentile, quite acceptable with a few hundred milliseconds. So that's interesting, and because the test case is about writes, so as you can see I am doing insert, update and delete, and if you are curious you can find it all. The definitions of test cases are all here. So for writes we have insert, update and delete, and insert we have random insert. For update we have random update of a few fields, name, email and version, and delete is just delete by ID. Alright, so that's the cap for writes. Let's if we only have writes, let's say we can perform 1000 writes per second, more or less. Let's maybe run it one more time to make sure that it's really the case. And then we move to reads and mixed scenarios. Alright, we have finished. It's, as you can see, fast. Yeah, but worst cases were around seconds, even more. Let's see. Yeah, but still. So that's possible to have 1000 writes per second, which is quite nice, quite performant, I would say. What type of application do you need to have to have 1000 writes per second? It's really quite rare. So we know that we can have at least 1000 writes per second. So obviously for it will be much better. So I had 500 here, but let's also start with 1000, and let's run the reads test case. Alright, so we have run it. We had 3 select groups, let's say, by email, ID and name. All of them use indexes. Yeah, so we obviously made it within time without any problems. The worst case, only a few dozen milliseconds. And yeah, as you can see, the percentiles are amazing. Less than a millisecond. Yeah, so no problems there. Similar for all selects. So let's maybe bump it to I don't know, 5,000 and see can we handle it. Yeah, no problems there, as you can see. Yes. So, interesting. The times are still very similar, so the max, and we don't really care about max, we care about higher percentiles, because you can also always have outliers. So these guys, I would say, are the most important, and they are less than milliseconds, so it's nothing. I would say let's go with 20,000 queries. 20,000, so we should have yeah, not that, but yes, 400,000 queries. Let's run them. Let's maybe check the CPU usage. Quite acceptable. I mean low, we have 200%, keep it in mind. We run it on 2 CPUs, so, and that's all we have. I mean test process, because the SQLite runs in process, which is one of its main benefits, that we don't need to have separate process. Yeah, but let's see what we have here. Yeah, so we made it within time. The max was higher, but percentiles, it's still nothing, so I don't know. Let's maybe go with 50,000 queries per second, which is tremendous, and with 1 million queries in total. Yeah, let's see, the CPUs was higher at the beginning, but yeah, it is higher, but we also have more threads in our tests, so that's still acceptable. And let's see whether we can make it with 50,000 queries per second, which is, I don't know when you need it. Yeah, so that's the limit probably. We made it with 45,000. So yeah, that's huge, that's a lot. Alright, but most applications, they neither have only writes or reads. They usually have a mix of both. So we have 2 test cases for that. One is, I think, rare, where we have more or less the same amount of writes and reads, and the other where we have mostly reads, 90%, and 10% of writes. But let's go with this scenario first. We know that we can handle 1,000 writes, more or less, so it doesn't make sense to start with 200. I think only 50% of those queries will be writes. So let's start with 2,000 actually. Yeah, let's run write 50, reads 50, test. With this we have 1,000 writes and 1,000 reads per second. That should be more or less the limit. Alright, so let's see the results. Selects are fast, as you can see, percentage wise it's more or less the same. Yeah, have we made it? Yeah, we have almost made it, as you can see, so that's our limit. We wanted to have 2,000, queries per second. We got that almost. Still the max acceptable percentage. So this guy is slower, but it's most likely for write. So let's see. Yeah, selects, fast, inserts. Yeah, so the max for selects is, as you can see, low, and it was higher for writes, but still. Yeah, so with this mix, we can't have to do 2000 queries per second for this mix, but 100 and 1500 without any problems, I think. So for the last test case, so let's go with mixed reads and writes, but mostly reads, as most applications have this data access pattern where we have mostly reads and some writes. So we have 10% writes and 90% reads. Let's start because we know how we can have 10,000 writes and tens of thousands of reads. So let's maybe start with 5,000 queries per second. Yeah, so we'll have 500 writes and rest of it will be writes. So let's run it and see. Yeah, we have it. So let's see. We made it in time, obviously. The worst case, percentile here low. We had mostly selects. Yeah, selects are all fast, and writes as well. Yeah, the worst cases were for a few hundred milliseconds, but still we had percentage pretty good. So let's check whether we can handle double the amount. So 10,000 basically queries, where 1,000 will be writes. I would be surprised if we can. Let's see, the resources uses low. Alright, we have it. Looks like we have, yeah, we have almost 100. It's almost. Yeah. So probably we'll be able to handle that. So let's reduce it to 7,500 queries per second with 750 writes, and the rest for reads, which is a lot. Yeah, your application needs to be really successful to have this kind of traffic. Yeah, let's see whether we have made it. Yeah, we have made it without any problems. The max was under 1 second, and the 99.9 percentile was 34 seconds, which is fast. Selects are nothing, less than milliseconds. Yeah, some edge cases for a few dozen milliseconds, and the same for pretty much the same for writes. Yeah, so Here is a summary of the results. Yeah, so as you can see, the performance of SQLite is really amazing. Thousands of queries can be handled. So I would say for most applications, it's probably more than enough. So the next time you start the project or application, really think through whether you need to have a separate database server. So I think that's it. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I see you in the next one. Cheers!